What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dyce Reacts, where we are staying in Poland tonight. Oh yeah, we are going to be checking out Polish idioms and expressions you just have to hear. Paramount checks one out. We ain't going to waste no more time. Just going to get right into it, folks. We're going to get right into it. Oh yeah.
First one is bułka z masłem. That translates exactly to bread with butter. And what does that idiom mean? It means it's as easy as pie.
Okay.
So the other day I was asking, is it hard to buy a monthly parking sticker so I can park anywhere in the city? I asked in Polish, and the man, bułka z masłem. Bread with butter, as easy as pie. One of my favorite, that's number one. Okay. I love that Polish idiom. Another idiom I like very much is oczko w głowie. When I was dating my wife, I met her father for the first time, and jokingly, kind of half joking, half serious, he said, "Be good to my daughter, she is the oczko w głowie." And what that literally translates to is the eye in his head. She is the eye in his head. I'm still not 100% sure what that means, but in English it would be the apple of my eye. He said, "Be good to my daughter, she's the apple of my eye." Great idiom, oczko w głowie. Next on the list is one that really fascinates me too, and if you've ever watched The Simpsons,
you guys got to break that down, this idiom down a little bit. She's the apple of my eye. She's the apple of my eye. Break it down a little further for me, Polish people. Yeah, apple of my eye. Meaning that maybe like, as a father, she means the world to him, something of that sort. That's how important she is to him. So like, treat her with care, love, appreciation, and all that stuff. Is it around those lines? That's what it means. I would assume something of that nature. Yeah.
Simpsons movie, you probably remember the scene when Homer Simpson was going between a rock and a hard place. If I remember, there was a big rock and kind of a tavern or a restaurant, and he was just swinging back and forth and back and forth that way. In Poland, we don't have exactly the same idiom. It's kind of similar, but I think it's even better in Polish. Listen to this. In Polish, we say you're between a hammer and an anvil. Między młotem a kowadłem. Very nice idiom, and in my opinion, that's a much worse situation to be in. Between a hammer and the anvil. Good job, Polish. The next expression is a great one. You know, years ago when I was a single guy, I was interested in taking one girl out on a date. And my good friend knew her quite well. And as a matter of fact, he took her out, I think, once or twice to the restaurant, talked with her, and I said to my friend Michał, I said, "Michał, do you think that she would be an interesting girl for me? You know, should I take her out on a date? Should I ask her out?" And he looked at me and he kind of just looked up like that. He said, "Russell, flaki z olejem. Forget about her." Okay, so he's speaking English and he used this Polish idiom, and I'm looking, flaki z olejem. I know flaki is like tripe soup with oil. What on earth are you talking about? Flaki z olejem? I said, yes, she's really boring. It would be like you saying that she's as dull as dishwater. Okay, so she's boring, she's a waste of time. Yes, she's boring, you won't have fun with her, forget about it, don't ask her out. I asked her out anyways. She was actually quite interesting, but it didn't work out, obviously. That was a good expression that I learned, and because of that situation, I'll never forget flaki z olejem. The fifth idiom I'd like to share with you today is one that I was at a doctor recently. You know, I had some strange pains going on in my stomach. I didn't know what was happening, and if you're like me, you always consider the worst possible case scenario. So I went to the doctor and I had him check everything. Blood test, x-rays, any kind of scan they could do, USG, to make sure I was healthy. And after a few hours, he came back with my results and he said, "Well, you are zdrowy jak koń." Okay, just let it process a little bit. And I said, "I'm healthy as a horse?" "Exactly." "Or you are zdrowy jak ryba." As healthy as a fish. Very interesting. We say in English, of course, you're as fit as a fiddle. You're in good health. Great expression. You're as healthy as a horse, or you are as healthy as a fish. Nice job. The next interesting Polish idiom today has to do with people who lie. If you're like me, there's nothing worse in the world than a liar. I hate being lied to. And they have a great idiom to deal with such people. It's called kłamstwo ma krótkie nogi. Lies have very short legs. The first time I heard that, I thought, I don't understand that. How can a lie have short legs, and what does short legs have to do with lying? Well, essentially it means the lie will eventually catch up with you.
Yes.
I do not know a really...
Yes, short legs means it's not going to last long. Eventually, it's going to come back around and bite you in the ass. That's what it means. Yes, I figured that out pretty quickly, but I don't think I can ever say what he just said there. I mean, the pronunciation is just, oh man.
Really good English idiom to kind of put together with that one. But essentially that's what it means. Lies are short-lived. Eventually they're going to catch up with you and you're going to be held accountable for that lie. Really good one. I agree with it, and we need to adopt it in the English language. The final one today has to do with people who achieve success very quickly. They have a great, great idiom here in Polish for such people. And just to be sure that you know what I'm talking about, sometimes normal everyday people, your friends, achieve success or money very quickly. And this success and money goes to their head. Well, listen to this. Listen to what they say in Polish for that. Woda sodowa uderzyła komuś do głowy. The carbonated soda water goes to your head. It hits them in the head and changes them. It's a great one. It's a great expression. In English, it's really easy. The success goes to your head. But in Polish, woda sodowa uderzyła komuś do głowy. Hits you in the head. I like it. It's different. It's amusing.
This was short but sweet. Some of the idioms were different, but not too different where it's just sparsely like night and day compared to the English. But the pronunciation, man, some of the pronunciation is rather long. I definitely will not have a good time trying to pronounce it or even remember it. That's one thing to pronounce it, but to remember, you gotta remember it first to pronounce it, right? So I think that's the hard part about it, because after trying to remember it, then I have to try to deal with the pronunciation. I mean, that's just trying to kill two birds with one stone. And man, it's gonna be difficult. But it's not vastly different from the English. Maybe someone, I don't know, maybe if it's out there, maybe someone has an easy way or an easier way. I wouldn't say easy way, an easier way, or the best way to approach learning language. But there was a guy that I reacted to recently. I think I've done maybe 1 or 2 videos from him. I think this was the first one. And he said, people that, if you only speak English, right, it's going to be more difficult to learn. But if you can speak other languages like Spanish, right, for example, the transition is going to be a little easier, because some of the subtle things they have in common, it'll be easier for someone to transition rather than someone who can only speak the English language. You know what I mean? Yes, I can speak native language in my country, which is Creole. I'm from an island called St. Lucia, so I don't know how much of that is going to help me in terms of transition. So, but if someone knows, maybe there's a video or someone explaining an easier way to learn Polish language, hit me up in the comments. Yeah, this was very informative. I like it. Very short, but also almost gave me a headache at the same time, trying to remember some of those idioms and expressions. If you want to see a long-term answer that I do, hit me up on Dyce Reacts, Music Reactions. This is where I'm going to be making my exit. Until next time, peace out.